Sure. Get ready. On a rainy night in Salem, Virginia, the 2012 Roanoke College men's lacrosse team season will come to an end. Roanoke has locked up the second seed in the upcoming ODAC tournament, which begins next Wednesday. The second best and second worst teams in the conference will both close out their seasons tonight here at Kerr Stadium. It's Roanoke and Guilford in action this evening. Hello, everyone. I'm Nick DeSanctis alongside TJ Kemper from the campus of Roanoke College in Salem, Virginia. The Guilford Quakers are in town and sit at 6-8 this season with a 1-5 mark in the ODAC. They will not be competing for the conference crown come May, and will finish 7th in the ODAC, right where they were picked in the Old Dominion Athletic Conference preseason poll. On the other hand, the Roanoke Maroons will finish 2nd, where they were picked in the ODAC preseason poll. They will receive a first-round bye in the ODAC tournament and play their next game on Saturday the 28th in the ODAC semifinals. This breaks the Maroons' 3-year streak of entering the conference tournament with the number 1 overall seed. Taking a look at the ODAC standings, Lynchburg has won 13 straight. That includes a win over Roanoke back in March. That is Roanoke's last loss. They have won 6 straight since then, though. They sit at 10-3. Lynchburg, Roanoke, and then Hampton City, your top 3 in the ODAC. They were picked as the top 3 in the preseason poll. Once everything is finalized and set by the end of this week, the ODAC will announce the schedule. The quarterfinals will be at the higher seeds next Wednesday. Then the following Saturday, the 28th, Roanoke will host their semifinal match. Lynchburg will host their semifinal match, and the teams will then look to move on for a meeting, which will be up at Schellenberger Field in Lynchburg unless the Hornets lose that one. We'll see what happens. Last Saturday, Roanoke down Randolph-Macon in the team's senior day right here at Donald J. Kerr Stadium, 25-14, the final score in that one. Reed Mayberry finished the day with a career-high 7 goals and an assist for an 8-point day. Those 8 points, his career high, even going back to his days playing at Salisbury his freshman year. Jeff Keating also set a career high with 9 points. Really impressive to see Keating, the senior All-American, set a career high without setting a career high in goals or assists, just combining all of his points. He finished the game with 9. Weather rainy, the turf is wet, the sticks will be wet. That's going to be one of our keys to the game when we come back. TJ and I'll be back. We'll go over the keys to the game, get you set. Face-off coming up just over 10 minutes away. This is the Roanoke Lacrosse pregame show. We'll be back with the keys to the game after this. You're listening to Roanoke College Lacrosse on 1240 AM ESPN in Virginia.
Roanoke College. Timeless and true. Smart and solid. Practical and professional. Making discoveries about yesterday. Creating visions for tomorrow. Lifted by a winning college spirit. Forging lifetime friendships with professors who prepare you for a place at the head of an operating table or another bright future. Roanoke College. Classic for tomorrow.
Don't settle for bar food at a sports bar. Watch the game on a big screen and eat great food at a sports cafe. All Sports Cafe with 30 screens of sports and the best food around. Say no to bar food and yes to great food at All Sports Cafe in Roanoke and Salem. For information or schedules on Valley Vision TV programs, visit us on the internet at valleyvisiontv.com. Remember, you're watching the Valley's only true local network, Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7. Be sure to catch Roanoke College sports on Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7 in Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, Lexington, and Blacksburg. Brought to you by Mac & Bob's, Main Street, Salem. For programming information or schedules, go to valleyvisiontv.com.
Mac & Bob's opened for business in 1980. Over the years, we've grown from 10 stools to a full-service restaurant that seats 330 people. Now we invite you to come try our new breakfast menu, featuring sweet potato pancakes, eggs Benedict, omelets made to order, stuffed French toast, homemade sausage and gravy biscuits, and much more. Open for breakfast Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m., Sunday brunch 10 a.m. till 2. See you for breakfast at Mac & Bob's in Salem.
Welcome back to Donald J. Kerr Stadium. Nick DeSanctis and CJ Kemper with you. Face-off coming up in just about 10 minutes. Time to take a look at tonight's keys to the game. Our first key for the Maroons is going to be to stay healthy. Roanoke has locked up the number 2 seed in the ODAC tournament, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast. The first year in 3 years, the Maroons have not been seeded as the top. They have gone on to win 2 of the last 3 ODAC championships. The only loss coming in overtime back in 2009, right here at Kerr Stadium against Washington and Lee. Roanoke had a huge playoff run last year. A lot of it was fueled by the fact that they were healthy. In their first round game against Colorado College, Trey Keeley, though, broke his collarbone in that one after a hit up high. And that really forced Coach Pilot and the Maroons to adjust. They lost an All-American, their top-scoring midfielder, for the rest of the postseason, and still managed to get all the way up to the ODAC semifinals before falling to eventual national champion Salisbury University. So injuries are going to be key, and the Maroons are bringing back 2 players from injury. When I talked to Coach Pilot off the set last night of Tuesday Night Live, just sitting there before and after we went on for his interview, he had kind of said that they like to bring their guys along slowly who are coming back, but 2 Maroons are going to come back after a bit of time away from the game. Joey Coretti hasn't played since the contest against Virginia Wesleyan. Look for him on the man up. Coach wasn't sure, wanted to get him right back in the starting rotation, but did want to get him some time as Coretti wants to be out on the field. Also making a return, it's really going to make things interesting on the back end, is Mike Littner, the long stick midi out of Texas. Had a great freshman campaign last year, was off to a great start this year before getting hurt in the contest against Worcester. He'll be back as well. With Braden Geary's success as long stick midi, we'll see what the coaching staff decides to do with Littner. TJ, our second key is going to be the weather, as it's been raining most of the day, and we're playing on turf tonight, which can make things a little bit easier than grass, but still poses its own set of challenges.
Yeah, it's been raining all day, which can be fun to play in, but you got to stay safe and aware while playing in the rain. First of all, you got to stay on your feet the whole time. You got to really plant your feet and know what you're doing, because if you fall on defense, you can give up an easy goal. If you fall on offense, that's a turnover right there, Nick. So you got to stay on your feet, and you could also get injuries if you fall over on the field a lot, so you got to keep safe. That's coming back to keeping healthy for the postseason. Also, field awareness is going to be huge. You know, when it's raining, it's in your face the whole time. It's hard to see. So the players that have great field awareness, they're the ones that are going to dominate today, because they're going to be able to tell where people are on the field and be able to make those passes to get those goals.
Lacrosse, so interesting. Gloves and helmet. It's not like you can just reach in and whip the water out of your eyes, since your gloves are soaking wet as well. So field awareness, definitely a good call there, TJ. And my other key for the Maroons, though, is going to be freshmen. Roanoke has dominated Guilford in these recent seasons, and Coach Pilot will definitely look to get some of his freshmen in and use that depth. Roanoke has locked up the number 2 seed. Guilford has locked up the number 7 seed. One team is going to the tournament, one team is not. Roanoke, the opportunity to see what some of the young guns can do. They've had success recently. You look back at the Randolph game. We saw Chris Duran finish that game with 4 goals. Jad Smith had 2 goals and 4 assists for a 6-point day. In addition, Roanoke has had freshmen on the back end like Wes Pancost, who's played very well. They have 2 midfield lines that can run and score goals. Freshmen on the midfield this year have combined for 9 goals for the Maroons, which is really a great number when you look at the midfielders running back and forth. So more on Guilford, as Greg Nash holds the team high in goals, points, and shots. Nash, the senior, the offensive leader for Guilford. Senior has 32 goals and 42 points this season. Junior mid Nick Mann has a team high 16 assists along with his 7 goals. He is the highest scoring midfielder for Guilford. Look for Sam Newland at the faceoff X, winning nearly 50% of his draws. The junior has taken 152 and 175 of them, just about as close as you can get to 50%. And in goal, we haven't gotten the starting lineup just yet. It'll probably be, though, Thomas Dean. He has a 10.3 goals against average and a 51% save percentage. He has started every game in goal for Guilford. Roanoke leads this all-time series 28-2. The only losses coming in 1986 and 1991. As Roanoke has shut out Guilford and also scored 30 goals against them twice. And Roanoke has not lost to a team out of the state of North Carolina since 1999, when they lost to Greensboro College 18-14. Quite a bit of years since a team from North Carolina has been able to best Roanoke. Before Greensboro, it was Duke. Coming back in 1994. Before that, it was Guilford. Then you go back into the days where Roanoke did take on Duke, North Carolina, Virginia every year. TJ and I will step aside. We'll be back with the starting lineups and the opening face-off. Roanoke and Guilford coming up next here on Roanoke Lacrosse on ESPN Radio.
Number 2, Michael Paco. A 6'1" sophomore, number 10, Spencer Parsons. A 5'10" junior, number 17, Brandon Healy. A 6'3" senior, number 18.
Welcome back to Kerr Stadium. Face-off coming up here just in a few short minutes. TJ, let's take a look at today's starting goaltenders.
For Guilford, it'll be Thomas Dean. He has a 10.29 goals against average and a 50.9 save percentage. He has 6 wins and 8 losses for the season. That means he's played most of each game for Guilford this season. Mike Hardan will start for the Maroons. He has a 8.3 goals against average and a 58.8 save percentage with 8-0 on the season.
The starting lineup today for Guilford from head coach Tom Carmine, Jaquan Tellis, James Houlat, Evan Silva, Greg Nash, the leading scorer, the senior attackman out of Massachusetts, Sam Newland, Chris Ashcroft, Nick Mann, AJ Oliver, as well as Nick Hudkins. The starting lineup today from Roanoke head coach Bill Pilot for the Roanoke Maroons. On attack, Jeff Keating, Rich Lachlan, and Reed Mayberry will get the start. On the midfield, out there now for the faceoff will be Dubois, Geary, and Satoski. Top midfield line for the Maroons today looks like it's going to be Parsons, Dubois, and Mike Hayden. On defense, West Penn Coast, Michael Paco, an honorable mention All-Odex selection from a year ago, Captain Eric DeLong, and as TJ mentioned, Hardan in goal. Satoski made a return to the lineup last game for Roanoke after missing some time. He went 16 of 27 at the face-off X, collecting 9 ground balls in that one. The freshman has won 59% of his face-offs this season. We'll see what he can do here tonight. As I mentioned, Geary and Dubois are the wings as we get set for the face-off. Satoski able to bump this one ahead. Tries to play it to himself. Geary in there as well. Satoski comes up with the ground ball as he retreats back towards midfield. Now finds Connor Dubois in the middle. Dubois slowly walks down the right side as Roanoke in the home whites controls the first possession of the game. Dubois feeds it out in front. Lachlan with a shot and a save made in close on the play by Dean. Big rebound is given up. Geary then comes up with a ground ball. Tried to pass it back to midfield. It was swatted away. DeLong up with a loose ball. Dances through 2 defenders and gives it up on the right side for Connor Dubois. Dubois sidesteps one man, rolls around another before giving it up for Mike Hayden, who gets a touch in the box. Roanoke in the home whites going right to left. Guilford in the road blacks, black tops, black bottoms with white caps. They'll go left to right. Hayden carries down to the bottom near corner of the box. He's covered on the play by Sam Newland. Hayden walking through X, the Maroons invert. Hayden stutters, dodges up the far side in front with a shot. Looks like he put that one off the side of the net. Guilford will take it as they move behind. With it now is Thomas Dean. Dean dishes it off along the left wing. Evan Sylvia carries ahead. He's over midfield. Do be able to pick him up there. Sylvia tried to send a pass in the middle. No one there. Racing after it for the Maroons is Spencer Parsons. He's up at the ground ball at midfield. Parsons looking ahead, feeds Keating on the near side. Keating steps in, shoots one. A pad save, made on the play by Dean.
Roanoke's definitely doing all the right things, Nick. They've already had in this matchup 3 shots and 2 turnovers by Guilford. So they've had 3 offensive possessions where they got good shots on goal.
Almost 90 seconds in. It's stopped coming up to midfield as Jaquan Tellis. He sent a pass ahead for Soa's out of his reach. Parsons has another ground ball. There's 2 quick failed clears from Guilford as Parsons finds Jimmy McNeely. McNeely moves inside. Now dumps it out to the near wing for Jeff Keating. Back now for McNeely. Roanoke making an early midfield change as McNeely gives it up for Smith coming out of the box. Smith sends it down the wing and gets it back from Lachlan. Carter, Smith, and Neislick, the number 2 midfield line for the Roanoke coaching staff today, as Carter sends it down the right wing for Reed Mayberry. Mayberry back for Carter. Gives it up to the top now for Neislick. Neislick to the near side for Smith, down the wing for Lachlan. Back up now for Smith as he sends it across the box for Neislick. He goes down the right side as Reed Mayberry. The near side now Jeff Keating. Back on the right side Mayberry. Mayberry moves up high. Neislick cuts in. Popping out is Will Carter. He has it in the top right corner. Comes to the near corner of the box now for Neislick. Neislick down low for Keating. The Roanoke offense very deliberate here early on. Mayberry back now for Keating. 12:20 to go in the first. Still no score. As Smith sends it down the right side for Neislick. Looks things over. Goes for Mayberry. Behind the net. He and Keating will trade places. An early stalling call on from the officials here. Not even 3 minutes in. Roanoke has to keep it in the box as Mayberry tied up. He in turn lost it as he goes down. Smith takes it. He's able to stay in the box. Tried to send a pass for a Neislick across. Was out of the reach.
Surprising that there was a delay of game call so close into the game.
That's what I was thinking. It was Roanoke had made an attempt at the net in their first 2 possessions, but the officials, though, wanting Roanoke to move the ball very early. Guilford will start with it now in the far alley. 11:44 to go in the first.
A little bit of a warning towards Roanoke that they have to move their offense. They got to get some shots on goals. They can't just really hold it, even though the score is tied right now.
They go pole to pole as Hutkins races up the near side. Sent a pass that was unable to be grabbed by Ashcraft. He now has to battle for it. It's on him as DeLong. The ball pops free now along the far side. Geary in after it as well. Guilford, though, does emerge with possession. Give it up now for Chris Sisk along the near side. Sisk down for Greg Nash. Nash tries to roll inside on Ingold. Feeds it down low. Pass unable to connect. DeLong digging for the ground ball. He comes up with it in the near alley. DeLong turns back, goes for Paco. Now behind the net for Hardan. Hardan goes up the right side. McNeely moving with it there. McNeely across midfield with good speed. Geary has joined the rush. He's in the middle of the offensive set as McNeely gives it up for Reed Mayberry. Now for Hayden coming out of the box. Hayden quickly races towards the middle, then lost it. Hayden battling for it. As the ball's kicked out towards midfield, a Quaker completely just ran past it before Connor Dubois picked it up. Dubois carries in, looks down low for Mayberry on his left hand with a shot, and he sent that one just high.
So something I didn't mention, Nick, with the playing in the rain is handling the ball. You can see it with Mike Hayden. He got a little too antsy with it. The ball's easily going to slip out if you're not careful with it when playing.
Keating will bring it in behind the net for the Maroons. 10:42 to go in the first. No score. Keating on the right side now for Mayberry. Mayberry got a pick from Parsons. Feeds it in front for Keating. He had his hands tied up, battling for the ball. In there as well is Hayden. Guilford pops it up in the air. Hayden thought he had it. Now Guilford able to swat this one ahead of the play. Up with it is Sylvia. Sylvia just past midfield, closed it on quickly by Dubois. He's able to turn free as he gives it up now for Austin West. West out of the box. As Guilford controls another offensive possession. Pass to the near side taken by Greg Nash. Nash looks to go down low. DeLong all over him. Nash comes access. DeLong loses his footing. Feeds it out into the far alley. Guilford skip pass out to the top. As Teosito gets it back. Teosito through the middle. And now down the left side for Kyle Smith. Kyle Smith of Guilford on his left hand. Sends a pass down low. The near side's taken by Ashcroft. Ashcroft up the wing as Guilford has worked it around. Teosito tries to drive in, has his stick left, tries on a pass in the middle. That one went off Pankos, who's up at the ground ball. He'll race back the other way. Pankos with a man on his back takes the check. So he crosses over the restraining line, gives it up for Keating on the near side. Keating looks to slow things down. Skip pass across the box for Connor Dubois. Dubois stutters on his left hand, races to the middle with a shot, and he sent that one wide. Backed up in the play by Keating. Roanoke will keep it. 9 minutes to go in the first quarter.
You know, even though the Quakers tried to get a feed to the middle on that last possession, I think that was a better possession than the first time because they got a shot off, but it was a weak shot right in front. It wasn't very strong because DeLong had his stick right on his hands. Difficult shot to make. We need some more offensive possessions like that for the Quakers if they're going to do well today.
Behind the net now for Jeff Keating. On the near side for Lack on that pass. In the cleats of Lack on an out of bounds along the near side. Possession now will go back to Guilford. Austin West will start with it in the near side. West fakes the pass across. Keating waiting for West to make the move. West tries to go around Keating. Turns back through the middle. Dishes it off on the left side. Trying to take that pass on the hop is Hulett. He comes up with it. Mayberry closing in. Goes to his goalie in the middle. It's Dean. Dean steps over his restraining line. Looking ahead, whips a pass, hoping for Nash out of his reach. That one will make its way out of bounds over the end line. Roanoke will take it right back. 8:12 to go in the first.
When the ball is slippery like that, it almost moves faster on the turf, more likely to go out of bounds.
Oh, for sure. We have a whistle and a timeout on the field. Coach Tom Carmine wants to talk things over. We'll step aside as Guilford takes their first timeout. We're still scoreless. 8:12 to go in the first. We'll be back after this.
Don't settle for bar food at a sports bar. Watch the game on a big screen and eat great food at a sports cafe. All Sports Cafe with 30 screens of sports and the best food around. Say no to bar food and yes to great food at All Sports Cafe in Roanoke and Salem.
Welcome back to Donald J. Kerr Stadium. Nick DeSanctis alongside T.J. Kemper. As we mentioned earlier on in the broadcast, Roanoke had a big win on Saturday against Randolph-Macon, and it was the team's senior day. Honoring the 2012 senior class, Roanoke had 9 different players score. Reed Mayberry set career highs in goals and points. Senior tied 7 goals and an assist. Jeff Keating scored 9 points. That was a career high for him. In addition to Spencer Parsons, that one got a little overlooked. Parsons, his first career hat trick coming off the midfield. He set a career high with 4 points. The Maroons scored 10 goals in 1 quarter in that game. It was the first time they had done that, I believe, since maybe the Colorado College game at the NCAAs last year. Eric DeLong will start with it in his own end. DeLong leaves it in the middle for hard end. The Maroons looking to start to clear. Hard end lofts this one up to the box, taken by Mike Hayden. Hayden out with Dubois. And now Smith will head to the bench. Parsons will step over. Goes down low for Reed Mayberry. In front, dodges the bounce shot. He scores. Reed Mayberry has the first goal of the game. His 24th tally of the season. His 8th in the last 2 games. And Roanoke takes a 1-0 lead. 7:53 to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, Reed Mayberry had 7 goals?
7 goals
last
and an
game
assist
against Randolph-Macon.
Setting a career high.
But that's kind of romantic, isn't it? Senior night, senior gets 7 goals, sets his career high.
As his defenseman gave him room down low, Mayberry was just able to beat him to the crease. Satoski unable to get the pry on the faceoff. Pankos, though, able to win the draw for the Maroons as he met the ball at the edge of the box. Pankos able to absorb the hit and gives it up for Parsons. In over the line, Parsons for Keating. They go down low. Lackland in front. Shot, he scores! Rich Lackland on the board. His 36th of the year, and a flag comes in. As Parsons was popped as he went to dish it off for Keating. We'll take a look at the call. Roanoke quickly taking a 2-0 lead. 7:40 to go in the first. It looks like the call is going to be unnecessary roughness. Roanoke will go to the man up. So we can go back and take a look at the replay. It was a great win by Roanoke as Pancoast able to meet it at the box. If you start to slow it down, you see Roanoke able to feed it around. The hit came on Parsons. That was late, and that's what you're getting the call for.
Roanoke goal number 19, Richard Lackland.
Lackland's 36th of the season. He had 4 goals last game against Randolph-Macon. Connor Dubois will be down on the faceoff. Geary wing to the far side. Hayden wing to the near. As Dubois just ran his man off the faceoff X. Hayden comes in up with the ground ball. Roanoke now will operate man up for a minute. Mayberry has it on the far side. The Maroons will get set up. Goes for Keating at the point. To the near side, Reed Mayberry. Back to the top. It's Keating down the right side for Mike Hayden. And again, Keating at the point. For the near side, it's Lackland fed down low. Hayden, he scores. Rather, Reed Mayberry able to catch and bury that one, just toeing the edge of the crease. Mayberry gets his second, now 25th of the season. He has 9 goals in his last 2 games.
That was a great feed. I mean, the goalie didn't even see him. He was to his left, almost behind him on the goal line, and able to see that pass and make that feed. Watch it. Mayberry will just creep up here in a second. Looked like
Coretti entering the play kind of threw the defense off as the man who was on Mayberry had shifted over to cover Coretti, leaving that through pass. A great feed by Dubois. He had to put it so that Mayberry would reach across his body because of the sticks that were there.
And Dean had almost no time to react to it. He didn't even know he was there. And that's what I'm talking about, the field awareness.
As Guilford buried as they tried to bring that one ahead. It was Newland who had won the faceoff. Now a flag comes in late. Delayed call coming up against Guilford as Geary races ahead. Geary in over the line, comes to Keating. Keating back down low, hoping for Mayberry, going for the early hat trick. Pass eluded him and out of bounds. Stopping play will get the call. It's like a 30-second interference. No, rather slashing the call against Guilford. Roanoke now will go back to the man up. 6:50 to go here in the first. Already a 3-0 lead. Coretti and Mayberry will be the wings. Lackland in his office in front. Keating will work the point to start with Hayden and Dubois on his wings. As it comes out to the top for Keating, to the near side for Dubois. He goes behind the net to the far side. Now Reed Mayberry. Hayden for Keating, to the near side, Dubois, and again, it's Coretti down low. Roanoke working the ball around the perimeter here early on the man up. Now puts things in motion in front. It's Hayden with a bounce shot. Nice save made on the play by Dean. The rebound in front, crowned by his own men. He will shovel it to him. Dean retreats behind his net, looking to kill off the penalty. 30 seconds remaining on the slashing call. As carrying this one ahead is Kyle Smith of Guilford. Smith able to take some checks from Doobie as he moves down towards the far corner. Now rolls back. Doobie only along the end line. Able to take the stick clean out of his hands and out of bounds. Possession will go back to Roanoke. The Maroons 18 seconds left of man-up time. Packer will start with it from the far wing here with 6:08 to go in the first. Roanoke up 3-0. Packer goes for Hardan in the middle. Looking things over. Has Hayden at the box. Hayden able to advance in the play. Hardan hits him with the pass as Hayden steps in. 7 seconds left on the penalty. Comes for Keating at the top. Keating goes down low. Mayberry tucks in front with a shot. He scores. Reed Mayberry, the early hat trick. His 26th goal of the season, 3rd of the afternoon, and Roanoke up 4-0. I believe that should be a man-up tally at 5:50. As Mayberry again able to slip free. A great feed down low by Jeff Keating, making this one 4-0.
Mayberry's doing a great job of eluding his defender and getting open on the crease right in front, and he's doing a great job also at letting his teammates know he's there and not letting Dean know that he's there. It's pretty much invisible in that crease right now.
Hey fans, let's see how much you know about the physical activity status of your kid.
As Roanoke tries to pry this one ahead, it was Ryan Brewer Face-off, though, controlled by Guilford. As also in this one for Sam Newland. Newland gives it up down the near side for Greg Nash. Nash steps into the box, hacked at by Geary. Swim dodges, now sends a pass back up towards the top. It's taken there by Chris Sisk. Sisk stutters, now drives down the right side. Looks behind the net, turns back on his left hand and feeds it up to the top. Gets this one back for Chase Clausen. Sisk lowers his shoulder, now sends a pass behind the net. Far side shot, and it looked like a hard-on got a piece of it as that one sent wide. Roanoke getting off their man quickly as Paco gets possession back for the Maroons. .5:07 to go here in the first as it goes for Hardan in the crease. And Hardan feeds his man out of the box. It's Nislik. Nislik tried to move down low. He was checked. Ball knocked free. Nislik has it back. Moving in front on his left hand. Took a shot. That one deflected weakly in on Dean. Dean's outlet pass taken ahead as Guilford across midfield. Under 5 minutes to go as that pass out of the reach of Nash. Hardan will watch it roll over the end line. Possession will go back to Roanoke. So two teams continue almost to trade possessions.
Well, a lot of mistakes out there going on, and you can attribute that to the rain a little bit. I mean, on that last pass,
Smith drives in and scores. Smith getting his 5th goal of the season. He was able to take that one and move all the way in. 5-0 Roanoke, 4:28 to go in the first. As we'll go back and take a look at the replay, then we'll go back to you, TJ. As you saw, Smith really just ran past 2 men. I was able to get the shot away before the third could get to him, giving Roanoke that 5-0 advantage. 4.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. As McNeely will go down the faceoff. Popped it out behind him. Parsons, after the ground ball, he comes up with it, able to roll off one check. Tag to Hacks, moving up the outside, as now Guilford is offside. Since Parsons feeds it down the far alley for Reed Mayberry. Flag down, delayed call coming up here against Guilford. As Roanoke gives it up for McNeely behind the net. TJ, you want to pick up where you left off?
Oh, yeah, I was just saying that last Quaker possession, it was a simple pass, really a tribute to the rain, and another.
That's Keating with an outside shot sent well high and wide. We'll get the call. So technical foul against Guilford, 30 seconds offsides.
Well, something that Roanoke's used to after that rain-off-making game when they had 16 minutes or so of, one team was man up or not. Over a quarter
of in that game.
Penalties, yeah.
Well, and actually we saw the rain right there, a tribute to the offsides call. I couldn't tell who it was. Can't see the number from over here, but he tried to stop, and that just didn't work out too well.
Well, that's just you gotta account for that rain in this.
It's almost have to plan ahead and know you're not going to have 2 extra steps. As Lachlan gives it up to the top, down the right side it goes for Joey Creddy. Behind it now it's Jeff Keating. Keating finds Reed Mayberry from the near side. Took a shot. That one deflected wide of the net. Roanoke will keep possession. 3:45 to go here in the first. Hayden will bring it in from behind the net, starting in the far alley. Feeds to X for Jeff Keating. Keating looks up the near side for Mayberry and goes back across for Hayden. Hayden out for Dubois. Man on his back. He's bumped down. Flag comes in. Another delayed call coming up. Feed it down low, hoping for Lachlan. He was hit hard as the pass eluded him and out of bounds. Penalty just had released to Guilford, so we'll get another 30-second after they just killed off one.
Well, Roanoke's getting a lot of man up, and they're doing a good job at not getting frustrated with Guilford and responding with the same kind of aggressiveness that the Quakers are sending towards them.
Well, another 30-second man-up opportunity. Push with possession, technical 30-second penalty. Assessed to A.J. Oliver. Dubois starts with it from the near alley. Goes behind the net for Joey Curry. Cross for Reed Mayberry before going up the far side to the point Keating. Roanoke working it around the perimeter. Mayberry moves ahead, finds Keating. Keating with a long outside chance. Needed to rip that one up high. It was a laser out of the stick of Keating. 16 seconds left. On the man-up opportunities, Coretti brings it in from behind the net, feeds Dubois on the near side. Dubois to the top for Keating. Back near side for Dubois. Looking for a through pass to Hayden. Couldn't find it. Keating goes for Hayden on the right side. The two trade places. Tried to feed Coretti down low. Swatting at that one. Just trickles in on Dean, who will make the save. That'll do it for the man-up opportunity for the Maroons as Guilford kills two straight. Dean has it in front of his own crease after taking the pass from Hutkins. Dean up the left side now for Sylvia. Skip pass to the near side, pole to pole for Hutkins. Hutkins moving ahead before leaving it in the middle. Checked his Przeracki as he takes that one past midfield. Przeracki sends it on the left side for Jaquin Tellis. That's Tellis unable to get a touch in time. Failure to advance the call here against Guilford. TJ, we saw it last game. Said we hadn't seen it all season. Now twice in 2 games. Roanoke getting started quickly from the far alley as Paco launches it all the way across. Was taken by Dubois. Dubois moving ahead. Puts the brakes on, moves to the middle, looking to feed. Goes in front for Kyle Smith. Tries to protect his stick. Maneuvering through traffic. Now gives it up back on the outside for Dubois as he really wasn't able to get a shot away. Goes down low for Mayberry. Back to the far alley for Dubois. To the top, Smith breaking to his right. Splits the two defenders. An outside chance and a save made by Dean. Was out of bounds along the near side. Possession to stay with the Maroons. Smith getting his chin strap fixed inside by the official. Isaac Carter and Kyle Smith, the midfield unit out. Still Lachlan, Keating, and Mayberry on attack for the Maroons. They're up 5-0. Minute 50 to go here in the first. As Mayberry has it in the right wing alley. Comes to the top now for Kyle Smith. Now down the near side for Nislek. And along for Lachlan. Lachlan back for Nislek. Looks to the top for Smith. The Maroons working in an open set. Have Guilford spread out. As Carter moving down the far alley. Lost his footing, gets back up, able to move deep with it. 1:25 to go in the first quarter. So it comes for Jeff Keating. Keating goal line extended. Out towards the top for Nislek. On the right side, it's Smith. He goes behind the net for Reed Mayberry. Now the near side for Keating. Keating for Carter at the top. On the right side again, Nislek. 1:05 to go. Roanoke working it around. Stalling call on. Roanoke has to keep it in the box. Nislek walking down the right side. Races down low behind the net. Crosses over. Up the near side. Nislek with a shot. A save made on the play by Dean. That may have caught iron. As Guilford comes up with the ground ball. Absorbing some checks as he tries to move ahead is Tyler Class. Class turns back away from pressure. Before giving this one up, Guilford carries it over the midfield line. They have a possession with 33 seconds left. On the far side, Tyler Class tied up. Before he gives that pass up for Jacqueline Tellis.
You can see him deliberately getting a touch in the box because you can't afford many of those failure to advance penalties.
That's really a tough call to take, especially when you have it in your own end and you spend 10 seconds dilly-dallying between your goalie and defenders as to who is actually going to take it up.
Oh, yeah, it's something you can avoid. I mean, you have the ball, and you're basically just giving it to the team by not getting there. And Roanoke does a good job with their ride preventing them, or at least delaying them to get into their box.
As Clausen with a shot that's blocked. Rebound chance. They're able to shovel it in with 2.7 seconds to go. Getting the goal will be Chris Ashcraft. Ashcraft's 24th tally of the season. His original shot had been blocked in front by Pancoast for Ashcraft. Just able to shovel that one in. Makes it 5-1 with 2.7 seconds left up on the clock. Off the draw, Sachaski plays it to himself and comes up with it, but the horn will sound. And that'll do it for the first quarter here in Salem, Virginia. Roanoke leading Guilford 5-1. Now we'll step aside. Be back with the start of the second quarter. You're listening to Roanoke College Lacrosse on ESPN in Virginia, 1240 a.m.
Mac and Bob's opened for business in 1980. Over the years, we've grown from 10 stools to a full-service restaurant that seats 330 people. Now we invite you to come try our new breakfast menu, featuring sweet potato pancakes, eggs Benedict, omelets made to order, stuffed French toast, homemade sausage and gravy biscuits, and much more. Open for breakfast Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m., Sunday brunch 10 a.m. till 2. See you for breakfast at Mac and Bob's in Salem.
Don't settle for bar food at a sports bar. Watch the game on a big screen and eat great food at a sports cafe. All Sports Cafe with 30 screens of sports and the best food around.
Alongside TJ Kemper. Through the first quarter, Roanoke leading this one 5-1. 3 goals from Reed Mayberry in the first quarter. 1 from Rich Laughlin, as well as 1 from Kyle Smith. Mayberry really continuing his hot streak. He now has 26 in the season. So the career day on senior day on Saturday, as we've mentioned a couple times so far in the broadcast. 10 goals over his last 2 games. Have to imagine that'll continue to rise as Roanoke takes the field. We see the return of Michael Littner. A long stick midi for the Maroons, hasn't played since the contest against Wooster, the sophomore out of Houston, Texas. Had him on the show a couple weeks ago. I remember asking him about the Lynchburg game. He said it was a great atmosphere, but really tough when you actually can't be out on the field with your guys taking that in. We'll see how he handles his first shift back. Geary will line up on close defense, taking the place of Pankos. Illegal procedure called on the face-off against Guilford. Satowski brings it into 4-on-3. Feeds across for Keating down low. Mayberry scores! Very quickly, Reed Mayberry gets his 4th of the game. His 27th goal of the season. As we can go back now and take a look at the replays. After illegal procedure was called against Guilford, Satowski already had the ball ahead. It made it for a great chance for him. Mayberry again shaking free, able to put that one top right after collecting the pass.
That's the field awareness I'm talking about. Keating was able to see that Mayberry was open in front of the crease, and to make that pass across the corner, the same pass right here that he made and scores again, is just phenomenal.
Mayberry's got another one. This one, his 5th.
It's the same exact play. I mean, you send it to the point, and you're supposed to send it down to the bottom right, but they don't. They take the skip pass to the left, and Reed Mayberry is just sitting there on the crease. And I don't know if it's the defensive slides. I wasn't really watching that last one, but he gets open every time.
I was still making tally marks in my book. On the fast break, Roanoke can feed Keating at the top. He can go down low, and then Roanoke has the option.
Yeah, well, the defender slides from Keating. He has to. He has to pick up Satowski. And then I think the slides are coming a little too early and leaving Reed Mayberry open.
In reality, Satowski, not as good of a shooter. If I'm Guilford at this point, I'm going to make that adjustment. We saw it happen last year with Ray Woody of Stevenson. Let him walk in. We'll take our chances on, in this case, Satowski, and lock up Mayberry, who's on a pace to score 30 this season.
Yeah, I think
and
you're going
lock
to see that very
Keating.
soon. Instead of sliding, you're just going to let him come in and let the middies catch up to him.
Guilford controls off illegal procedure from the faceoff. As Guilford feeds it along the right side. Mayberry, 5 goals today, 28 on the year. Finished with 7 back on Saturday as Guilford tries to come up the near side of the crease. Brzezinski turned away. Turning back down low is Chase Clausen. Clausen goal unextended. Tries to cross over on Dubois. Able to draw the slide from Geary, who's after him quickly. Clausen now has a step, move through the middle, and a pass across outside. Chance sent wide of the net.
I mean, good job finding Chance on the outside, taking that outside shot. But sometimes, I mean, if you already made penetration, you're in there far enough, there's no one on you besides behind you, you got to take that shot.
It looked like Clausen almost didn't realize how open he was when he did get past Dubois. As Guilford working with it in the far alley. 13.5 to go here in the second quarter.
I mean, that's why field awareness is part of playing in the rain on one of our keys to the game, because it's so important to the game. You got to know where you are in the field. You got to know where your players are in order to be successful on offense and defense.
Benefit for these teams. Looks like the rain has kind of lightened up. However, once you're wet and it's cold like it is, it doesn't really matter if it's still raining or not. You're wet and you're cold.
Yeah, field's not going to get any drier in the next hour.
As Tellis moving along the restraining line. Races down the right side. Littner with him. Tellis turns free, sends a pass out in front. They score. Nice catch and shoot there from Ian Parker. Got to beat that one past Peace down low. And it's 7-2. Roanoke still with the lead. 13:03 to go here in the second quarter. As Parker getting his 4th goal of the season.
Assisted by number 7, Jaquan Tellis.
We talked about Roanoke's rookies maybe getting this game, the true freshmen trying to play college lacrosse. Well, Ian Parker, freshman from the Quakers, looks like they've got some depth, at least with the freshmen.
Definitely a nice move Parker a little bit lower on the stat. She's only appeared in 7 games coming into tonight. This is 8th. There's Trent Evans. Gets a touch in the near side, turns back. Doobie on him. Roanoke leaves the man open across, as now stepping into the box awful quickly is Teodosio. Teodosio turns in from the near side with a shot. That one off the stick apiece. Rebound kicked free behind the net. Guilford tries to dodge in front. Paco got his man tied up. Parker really not able to get a good shot away. The play, though, backed up by Ashcraft.
Well, a decent shot considering he was just double-teamed by 2 Roanoke defenders.
Pass sent up the far alley. Teodosio through Farley to the near side. Now for Sisk. Sisk covered by Engel as he gives it up behind the net. Guilford works it towards the far side. Back up towards the top now for Henry Farley. Farley back on the right side. Teodosio moving behind the net. Feeds it past the near side. That got all the way through. Comes out now for Sisk at the top. Sisk gives it up down the right side for Farley. Farley hacked at by Doobie. Rolls towards the middle. Now back on his right hand outside. Feeds behind the net. Under 12 minutes to go. Here in the second quarter. As Nash came up, wanted to stay on his right hand. Sent a shot wide of the net, backed up by Guilford. TJ Nash was able to get topside. Had he turned back, been comfortable enough to go on that left hand, he would have had a pretty good look at Peace from an angle.
The angle was tough, but it looks like that's Nash's specialty. You've seen him do it 2 or 3 times already in this matchup. But it's not really working. Usually Roanoke double teams that, or they're just playing such good defense right in front of the crease that he can't really get a good shot off on goal.
Sisk from the far alley on Ingold. Comes in, goal line extended. Now Stoush tries to roll topside. DeLong waiting on the slide. Turnaround jump shot. That one sent wide of the net. Guilford has had some good looks in this offensive possession. Been able to eat some time off the clock. They trail by 5. 11-10 to go here in the second quarter. Guilford sitting at 6-8 on the season. They're 1-5 within the ODAC. As another outside shot. Save made down low by Peace on Teodosio. Paco with the ground ball. He's moving in. He'll just give it up for Carter, who steps across midfield. Roanoke midfielders will get off in a change. Bring out some fresh legs as Carter gets a touch. Sends it down low on the near side for Reed Mayberry. Mayberry to the top for Mike Hayden as he steps in the top right corner of the box and gets a touch. Turns back where he gives this one up for Connor Dubois. Carter heading off. Parsons will come in to join his mates in the top midi line. Parsons with it along the left side. Back to the top for Dubois. Dubois down the near side for Hayden. Behind the net, Keating. Again to the near side, it's Hayden. Hayden and Dubois trade places. It's Mayberry up top as well, along with Lachlan. Keating, the only attackman, still down low. Parsons dodges in, goal line extended. A backhand pass behind the net for Keating. Keating comes up the far side of the crease, feeds it out for Mike Hayden. Hayden through traffic, protects the stick. All the way through with a shot and a save made in close by Dean as that ball pops up high. Keating took some whacks as Guilford comes up with the ground ball.
Not even sure how he kept control of that through all that traffic. There was like 4 different defenders trying to get checks on there.
It was a great play by Hayden. Teodosio in the near side as he gets a touch. Now pops out as he gives it up for Chase Clausen. Clausen down the right side for Tellis. Tellis will go down low before he gets it back. Working in the far alley. Goes for Teodosio outside. Teodosio and Tellis trade places as it's fed behind the net. 9:20 to go here in the second. As Ian Parker feeds it to X. Guilford down 7-2. Tellis with it up the near side. He's covered by Spencer Parsons. And Tellis still with it, trying to come up the near side. Goal line extended. Defender slipped. Took a shot that was well high and wide. But that one got stuck in his mesh as he went to pull the trigger. As Guilford brings it in behind the net. Paco throwing some checks on Ian Parker. He has one of the 2 Guilford goals today. Ashcraft with the other. And as Guilford works it out to the top. Racing it down the right side is Teodosio. Teodosio behind the net. Fed back out in front. Peace and Geary caught it. A turnaround backhand shot is sent wide. The net possession now will stay with Guilford. Quick is really getting some shots on Charlie Peace here in the second quarter.
So Roanoke, the Roanoke defense is doing a great job at getting these double teams, these slides. Every time they roll back, it seems like they have another Roanoke defender on them. It prevents a lot of these shots, or at least makes it difficult, and this is what you're seeing. They're shooting it wide because they're double teamed every time they're getting a shot.
As Guilford sends it up the right side. Pass out to the top is dropped. Geary came out after it. He was unable to get there in time. As Clausen picked it up. Clausen gives this one up for Farley, who tries to roll inside. Farley stood up, still on his feet, took a shot, and he sent it wide of the net. TJ, I did just mention that Guilford's had a lot of shots. Not a high percentage, though, have been on goal. Peace has been able to see him. Is that one is now Ingold picks off this pass. Roanoke's going to look to run. Ingold racing up the near side, has Geary in the middle. Ingold feeds this one all the way through for Keating. He races through the top. Keating on the run, took the shot, he scores! Keating on the board with his first. His 34th goal of the season. As with that goal, Keating moves into sole possession of second place on the all-time goal-scoring list. Keating, a great move on the run, able to bounce that one past Thomas Dean, and it's 8-2.
Well, Keating saw that the fast break play in front of him was clustered with a bunch of defenders, and he couldn't really get through. I mean, it's a great job realizing that, and the field awareness thing comes back and play again, coming around the side, and getting that running shot on.
As Guilford was able to pry that face-off away from Will Merritt, but Merritt able to battle, comes up with a ground ball, feeds this one ahead for Carter, who has to chase it down on the near side, avoids some checks. Guilford comes up and takes on a nice man ball. Hudkins gets a touch along the near side, looking things over, feeds a pass down the near alley. One taken by Przdetsky. To the top it goes now for Sesk. Looks towards the box where he gets reinforcements. 7:15 to go in the second. 8-2 the score. Roanoke up by 6, leading Guilford here at Kerr Stadium in Salem. Just Rogers gives it up along the right side. As Kyle Smith turns away and checked out by Pancoast. Pancoast pass behind the net. Rather, Smith pass behind the net. Taken up out of the cleats of Greg Nash as he moves through X. Checked out by Eric DeLong. Nash comes up, going extended, now turns back towards the far side. Try to feed a pass out in front. That one got all the way through. It'll find its way into the sub box and out of bounds. Possession will go to the Maroons. 6:38 left here in the second. Jeff Keating moving into sole possession of second place with 153 goals. He takes over second from where he was tied now with Pat March. John Mason, the all-time leader in goals at Roanoke with 247. Mason playing for the Maroons from 04 to 07. I'm not sure that's a record that will ever be caught. As Paco moves down the near side. Paco looking for Keating. To protect the stick. Paco moving in behind the net. Races up the far side of the crease. In front, Paco, the shot, he scores! Paco getting his first goal of the campaign and his first career goal. As you can see right there coming into the replay, Paco looked like he was going to flip it to Keating, stayed with it, able to fight through a hold, and with that long stick, you almost, TJ, have an advantage coming around the crease because I don't know many goalies that are used to stopping shots out of a 6-foot stick.
That's true, Nick. And, I mean, unless you're Braden Geary, it's really hard to get a goal as a defender anyway, especially one that's so close to the net. Because you have such a big target, you can pretty much get checked so easily.
Satowski jumped on the faceoff as Bradley Mayer checks in on the defensive end for the Maroons. Carrying this one ahead is Jacqueline Tellis. Tellis turns at the top, now breaks back down the alley. 6 minutes to go here in the second. Roanoke up 7, 9-2 the score. From behind the net, Nash dodges up the far side, protecting his stick from Eric DeLong. Nash tries to move back down low, feeds behind the net for Tellis. Tellis rolls up, trying to go topside on Doobie. He's bumped on his way down, took a shot, and a save made by Peace. Peace retreats behind his net. Now comes out towards the top. A lot of congestion in front. He feeds Pancoast in the near alley. Pancoast all the way across, taken by Bradley Mayer. Mayer ahead. Pass picked off, though, by Guilford. He will protect the stick from the checking of McNeely and Lachlan Guilford trying to cut inside now. There's Horowick. Horowick has a stick knocked clean out of his hands on his way down. Gary came up with the ground ball, but I believe a timeout was taken. In fact, it was by Guilford before the turnover. So possession will stay with the Quakers. We'll take the timeout. 5:15 to go. Here in the second, 9-2 the score. As Roanoke leading Guilford. You're listening to Roanoke College Lacrosse on ESPN Radio. We'll be back after this.
Don't settle for bar food at a sports bar. Watch the game on a big screen and eat great food at a sports cafe. All Sports Cafe with 30 screens of sports and the best food around. Say no to bar food and yes to great food at All Sports Cafe in Roanoke and Salem. For information or schedules on Valley Vision TV programs, visit us on the internet at valleyvisiontv.com. Remember, you're watching the Valley's only true local network, Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7.
We're taking a look at the all-time points list for the Roanoke College Maroons. Jeff Keating closing in on third place. We get the halftime stats. We'll be able to give you a better estimate as to where he's at, factoring in his assists. Coming into the game, he was 15 points out of tying for third with Paul Goldsmith, the class of 83. After that, it's 6 more points to Andy Bonacera in second place. Pat March last game. So we'll see what Keating can do on the all-time points list before he makes his way out of here in May.
As far as all-time goals, he needs 94 more to catch up to John Mason. I don't think that's even possible.
Keating had a great year his freshman year, even better year sophomore year, building again last year, having another solid year this year, and he's still a ways off John Mason to catch that. As I said moments ago, I'm not sure that is one that will get caught. I was talking to Coach Pilot about it as well a couple days ago, and he doesn't believe it will either. As a pass from Guilford all the way through the box comes out of bounds towards midfield, possession will go back to Roanoke.
Well, yeah, and the second closest active lacrosse player is Rich Lackland. He's a junior with 130 points. I mean, that's even difficult there. He needs 134 points to catch up.
Mike Hayden became the newest member of the 100-point club at Roanoke. Now has 101 career points coming into this game. As off the clear. They give this one for Carter. He fights his way down the near side. Now a flag comes in. Delayed call coming up against Guilford. It's fed in. Nislak protecting his stick in front. Got a shot away as he got checked. Was lofted up high. We have the whistle, and we'll get the call. A slashing penalty against Guilford.
Nislak did a great job on that first face dodge, dodging that first check, but as he went for the shot, the ball got knocked out of his stick.
Foul is against Chris Ashcraft. He'll sit for 60 seconds. 4:44 to go. In the second quarter, Roanoke up 9-2. As Roanoke begin to operate in the man up. Braden Geary, the long stick, is out along the far side. As Hayden steps in, tries to feed it down low for Joey Coretti. That one just floats into the stick of Dean. Hayden, they're trying to force the issue, but Hayden now comes up with a pass, feeds it in front. Lackland turns and shoots one. He scores. Rich Lackland getting his second of the night. 37th goal this season. A man-up tally makes it 10-2. 4:28 to go in the second quarter. It was just when it looked like Dean had come up big for his team. Guilford's going to have a chance to kill it. Dean's pass up the middle into the stick off, as you'll see right here by Hayden, as it really got away from his man, and Lackland all alone in front.
Yeah, defense was not ready for that quick of a turnaround. I don't think Dean was either.
As Roanoke down the face-off, Merritt has that one pried away from him. Coming up with the ground ball, though, is Aaron Noss. As Noss feeds this one ahead. Guilford racing up the near wing. They send it for Nash along the near side. There's Ian Parker. Parker out for Sisk. As he feeds it down the right side. Walking with this one now is Kyle Smith. Smith goes down low. Now gets it back in the right wing alley. 3:50 to go. Here in the second quarter, Roanoke up 10-2 over Guilford. Lackland in the last tally, that one moments ago. As Guilford trying to dodge out towards the front. DeLong landing some checks, able to bump his man away. Forces the issue pass out to the top for Kyle Smith. Played along further now for Nick Mann. Mann steps down the right side. Mann moving through behind the net. Feeds it up the near side for Kyle Smith. Smith out to the top for Greg Nash on his left hand, racing in. Now from the outside, bounce shot, and he bounced that one just up high. Good utilization of the bounce shot on this wet turf.
Oh, definitely. The bounce shot always helps, especially in the wet turf. But, I mean, looking at the turf, you always can put it at the top of the crease. It hits the top of the crease, bounce out top corner every time.
As Peace was out to double team, as Guilford brought that ball in from behind the net. Peace and DeLong able to run him out of bounds along the far side. Possession back to the Maroons here with 3:17 to go.
Difficult thing about the Quaker offense right there. I mean, they did have a long offensive possession. They passed it around. They did get a job at running with the ball, but it's running without the ball that's killing them. They're not moving their feet off ball.
As in the middle, it comes now for Charlie Peace. He'll look to start things up with 3:10 to go in the second quarter. Peace waits, able to draw his man. They get him in on the stick lift. Peace able to shed the check. Finds Connor Dubois, who ducks under. Roanoke needs to advance the ball. As Dubois stopped at midfield. Looks back. The official's beginning to count as Dubois steps across midfield. Now makes a beeline for the box. He's in, gets a touch. Fakes the pass. Now comes to Parsons on the near side. Parsons at a sharp angle. Goes behind the net as he and Mayberry trade places. Sends it across for Keating. Out to the top on a bounce is taken by Hayden. Hayden gets a touch. Dodges down the left side. Hayden feeds it behind the net for Keating. Up the near side for Reed Mayberry. Fed quickly out in front for Lachlan with a shot. He sent that one just high. 2:29 to go here in the second of a 10-2 game. Number 9 Roanoke and Guilford here at Kerr Stadium in Salem. I'd like to thank this along with TJ Kemper. Great to be joining you here on Wednesday night as Lachlan ranks that one up off the crossbar. Rebound collected by West as he races ahead. Across midfield, now gets a touch in the near side of the box. Covered by Mike Hayden. Gives it up the near alley now for Ian Parker. Parker at the top for Farley. Hands this one off for Clausen. Clausen for Farley now on the right side. Kyle Smith moving at the top before giving it up on the right side for Farley. Farley covered by Dubois as he moves down low. Through X with 1:45 remaining in the second quarter. Farley up the near side. As it's fed out to the top, Nash in front. Quick turnaround shot, they score. It's Ian Parker who nets his second. Well, makes it 10-3, 1:37 to go in the second quarter. Parker getting his fifth tally of the season, second of the night. Roanoke lead at 7 as Jimmy McNeely will go down for the faceoff. Geary wing to the near side. Spencer Parsons wing to the far. As both of Guilford wings playing for it to start the fast break. Geary comes up the faceoff one at midfield, able to find McNeely. McNeely in the middle for Parsons. Left side Keating goes down low, hoping for Lack on that pass up off the top of his cross. Keating tried to shovel that ground ball into the middle, has to chase it down on the far side. Lackland over after it. Guilford comes up with it. Quakers racing through midfield. It's A.J. Oliver. Oliver sends a pass to X for Nash. Nash checked that by Paco. As he dishes it up the near side for Tellis. Tellis lost it, got it back. Paco coming on hard with the checks. Tellis races through the middle, under 60 seconds to go here in the first half. Gives it up now for Chris Sisk at the top. Sisk racing down the right side. Bumped at by Parsons. Turns back behind the net along the right side. Now makes his way down towards the end line. Sisk stutters. Now rolls back towards the far side. Clearing goal line extended feeds. Tried to feed it down in front. To hold on to it instead. Sisk now was going to try the near side. He stopped there by Parsons. 30 seconds to go as Parsons tripped up. His man took him down. Peace up with the ground ball. Ahead now for Jimmy McNeely. McNeely feeds this one through the middle for Braden Geary. Roanoke with numbers moving ahead. Geary gives it up for Eric DeLong. DeLong for Keating. Steps in, shoots one. A stick save made up high by Dean. Rebound, they score! As Dean turning down, going for the ground ball. Able to knock that one in his own net.
That was just unlucky right there, Nick. I mean, it was a great shot by
Keating.
It was a great shot by Keating, but I mean, it's just unfortunate the ball came right down, and
the spin of it looked like it almost took it as he was turning back and kind of helped it along. Keating will get credited for the goal. I believe the assist will go to Eric DeLong with 13 seconds to go. As it is, in fact, to DeLong. That's his first point of the year. 13 seconds left, and Roanoke back up by 8. As Satoski jumped on the faceoff. Quickly moving ahead is Fitzgerald. He now turns back with it. 7 seconds to go. As that pass down the right side eluded his man. Roanoke will launch it to midfield. It's taken there by Geary. He was unable to take it cleanly. Geary turns around as the horn sounds. And that'll do it for the first half of play here at Kerr Stadium in Salem. Roanoke leading Guilford in this one 11-3. TJ and I will step aside. We'll be back. Take a look at some halftime stats. Go over our keys to the game. See how we did with those so far. Get you set for the second half of play. Stay with us. This is Roanoke College Lacrosse on ESPN 1240. And then Michael Pacco, Eric DeLong, adding an assist in the second quarter in the game that brought Roanoke up, rather the goal that brought Roanoke up 11-3. Still plenty of time to go here in halftime. TJ, what are your thoughts overall on that first half of play in the first two quarters?
I think both goalies have been playing really well, and that's where I think it really comes down to. I mean, Thomas Dean has double the amount of playing time that Mike Harden has, but Mike Harden has shown himself and played better. I think it was interesting that Pilot put Peace in the game, too. He came darting out the first play. The rebound came out, and he snagged it. I mean, that's the first time I really noticed Peace was in the game because Harden isn't really like that kind of player. Peace will come out and dart out, take the ball, and clear it, which is something that was in question for Harden earlier when he got the starting position. But I think he's proved himself pretty well, too, in the clearing position.
As I mentioned, goal scoring for Roanoke, Mayberry with 5, Keating, Laughlin 2, Smith and Pacco each with 1. In the assist category, Jeff Keating has 3. He has 5 points so far tonight. Mike Hayden with 2 helpers, while DeLong and Dubois each have 1. Roanoke out shooting Guilford 27-16, including 17-3 in the first quarter, then outshot 13-10 in the second quarter. Guilford has collected 1 more ground ball than the Maroons, as Roanoke has won 2 more faceoffs. They are 9 of 16 at the faceoff X. Guilford failed on 3 clears. They had a lot of trouble in that first quarter, going only 3 for 7. Roanoke 3 for 5 on their extra man opportunities. Really been able to make the most of those. But a big number, TJ, that has to stand out is turnovers. As Guilford turned the ball over 16 times through 2 quarters.
Yeah, Guilford's doing good on the faceoffs. I mean, it's a differential of 2. Roanoke has 9 out of 16 opposed to Guilford's 7 out of 16. But what's killing them is the turnovers. I mean, the unforced or even the forced errors that Guilford has had. You can't have 16 turnovers compared to Roanoke's 7 turnovers. They expect to stay in the game. And that's why you see the score is 11-3 on the scoreboard.
In goal for the Maroons, Mike Harden allowed 1 goal, made no saves. Charlie Peace allowed 2 goals, making 2 saves. As we mentioned, Harden started the game. He played the first quarter before giving way to Charlie Peace, who played the second quarter. We'll see what Pilot decides to do, if he goes back to Harden, leaves Peace, or decides to pull out Gil Long. Maybe he waits on Long. We shall wait and see. Max Satoski has 3 ground balls and went 5 for 9 on faceoffs. In the first half, he came back in the Randolph make game, won 16 of 27 draws. Been playing right up at 60% faceoff wins most of the season before missing some time due to injury. We'll see what he can do the rest of the way. In addition, we saw the return of Mike Littner and Joey Coretti, which is definitely a reassuring sign for Roanoke heading in to the upcoming ODAC tournament. As I mentioned, Roanoke will have a first-round bye. They will pick things up a week from Saturday in the ODAC semifinals. That bracket will be announced the end of this week before the ODAC quarterfinals start on Wednesday. For Guilford College, Ian Parker has 2 goals and 3 shots, that time for the team high in 3 shots. He also has 2 shots on goal. The other goal for Guilford coming from Chris Ashcraft. Assist credited to Tillis along with Nash. TJ and I will step aside here at Kirsten. We'll be back to take a look at the keys to the game and get you ready for the second half.